I will show you how you can turn attributes and habits that come with age into an advantage for yourself. 7 simple things with which you can inspire a woman who is younger than you. My name is Safira. I am from beautiful Switzerland. I deal with social issues and with the psychology of gender behavior in order to analyze certain female ways of thinking and behavior from a woman's perspective, because if you understand the other gender a little better, you also have more success with it, or you can protect yourself better depending on the situation. As always, feel free to subscribe if you like my choice of topics, and also follow me on Instagram for topic suggestions or other ideas. Not all, but many younger women feel attracted to older men, whether they are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, or older. And in an earlier video, I already explained why that is. Today, I want to present 7 practical tips on how you can use the characteristics and attributes that come with your age to your advantage in order to appear attractive to young women. Some will now object. Yes, of course, with money, and I do not deny that when young women date much older men, meaning with an age difference, spanning several generations, money certainly plays a role if you are 60, 65 and want to get to know a woman around 25, 30, then you definitely have to offer something status prestige, a certain level of wealth, financial security, and that is logical, as I always say. It is then like a barter trade. Both partners possess qualities that they find attractive in each other, and yes, the greater the age difference, the more a man has to offer, unless she has a father complex, but then she probably also has other problems. But first, financial stability is often what is sought in more mature men, and not necessarily wealth. And second, there are many other factors, besides financial stability, that are attractive to younger women. Just take today's tips as food for thought ideas that you can consider. And before we dive into the topic, I also have an idea, and that is for a great gift for yourself or for your loved ones, namely, from today's sponsor, Highland Titles. Have you ever dreamed of owning a beautiful piece of land for less than 30 euros? You can become part of something very special. Highland Titles lets you buy a piece of land on their estate in the breathtaking Scottish Highlands. The smallest one is 1 square foot in size. There are also larger ones. Each plot is unique, which makes it the perfect gift for any occasion. Highland Titles is a family business. It manages the land as a nature reserve. It is a pleasure for me to introduce Highland Titles to you because they have been committed to wildlife and plant life for many years by restoring degraded farmland to its natural state and allowing endangered species to return through the sale of souvenir plots. The company generates funds to purchase and restore even more land. It is therefore not only a special gift, it also has a meaningful background because you help preserve the wonderful landscape. Also, a funny side effect through the purchase, you become a lord or lady of the glen, which in Scottish means landowner. Go to the website highlandtitles.d and use the code Safira25. Then you will receive 25% off all packages. Check it out. Have fun with 40, 50, or 60 plus. It can be more difficult to meet women than with 20 or 30 on the one hand, because you no longer frequent as many places where you can easily meet people on the other hand, because you reach an age where you may be coming out of a long relationship or have gone through a divorce. In this phase, you can be quite rusty when it comes to dating, or have no idea what actually sparks interest, and what does not possibly due to bad experiences. You have also become cautious, weighing pros and cons more carefully. And that is exactly why we will first briefly look at what advantages and disadvantages there actually are in being with a woman who is significantly younger compared to someone of roughly the same age. I think this is not entirely unimportant, even if you are looking for a younger woman. Relationships with women of roughly the same age have their advantages. If you are more mature, both partners have already had their experiences in life. As a result, you may feel more connected. Women over 40, 45 may have gone through a divorce and therefore do not need a new partner at any cost if they do enter into a relationship. Then it is because they are convinced that he will enrich their life financially. They are often independent and do not need someone to finance their life. A man, therefore, does not feel under pressure to meet certain expectations regarding his financial performance. Also, their children, if they have any, are often already grown up. She is therefore at a stage where she can enjoy her life. Moreover, mature women often place less value on external features than younger ones, such as physical attractiveness. Attributes such as health are more important to them. Yes, and partners of the same age may encounter similar health problems, age-related changes that we all face at some point, and therefore they can understand you better. You are on the same wavelength. Research has also shown that satisfaction in women decreases with advancing age, unlike in men. This decline in the feeling of happiness is partly related to the fact that they are more affected by job insecurity. As they get older, experts say some tend to remain stuck in pessimistic thought patterns in later life. The advantage for mature men being with women between 25 and let's say 30 or 35, she allows him to benefit from her freshness and youthfulness. You feel young and alive again. Dating a younger woman also raises one's own status, and of course a large age difference also offers potential for conflict, especially because you are in different phases of life. In addition, the younger woman may have the desire for children, and one must be aware of that. Do you want that? Yes, these are some considerations to take into account. TP1. How you can use the attributes and qualities that come with age to your advantage with younger women. Stand your ground and be a challenge. As people age, men and women alike tend to become set in their habits, lifestyles, and patterns of thought. You are no longer easily convinced of something. You no longer simply believe everything. Use that to your advantage in a positive way. There will always be things where you do not agree with her. Through life experience, you become more confident, and that is attractive. Use this to show her that you are not afraid of disagreements or of her temperament. Allow these disagreements and do not always give in immediately, just for the sake of peace. Offer resistance from time to time. Friction can be constructive. Challenge her playfully. Especially younger women are attracted to a man who is confident enough to stand by his own convictions instead of simply agreeing with everything. Of course, do not do this all the time because constant resistance is very exhausting. But here and there, in a charming way, it is an advantage. One advantage older men often have over younger ones is that they have established their life, are financially stable, and have achieved at least some of their goals. As a result, they are more grounded in life. Younger men may still have their career ahead of them, are in the building phase, are very ambitious, and have less time. In contrast, mature men no longer have to prove anything. They often have more time to listen attentively. Use that to your advantage. Really listen to her and show genuine interest in her thoughts and feelings. Mature men have a decisive advantage at this point. Time and life experience as a rule, they are also emotionally more mature than much younger men, and therefore able to show greater empathy and understanding for their partner when they listen to her. And that can attract a young woman because she may not experience this as often with men her own age. With age, you become smarter and wiser through experiences, through success, through failure, through joy, and through suffering. Use that to your advantage. Younger women in particular find wise men, attractive men with a great wealth of experience, men who can give them smart input and advice, explain things they do not yet know, or show them things they have never seen before, and who can make better decisions based on their previous experiences and want to make decisions that shows leadership qualities, and that does not mean that you are condescending or playing the know-it-all. There really are older men who want to impress younger women by constantly bragging about themselves, their great deeds and successes, how great they are. Please do not do that. It turns women off. Your advantage lies in the fact that you do not have to prove anything, because you let your abilities and experience speak for themselves. You occasionally simply make a comment when you know something better, because of your knowledge, or know something. It is about being a bit of a mentor and companion. Women want to be able to look up to men, and one way to achieve this is to say interesting things and stimulate them intellectually. Moreover, an older man who shares his life experience and knowledge shows that he is not only interested in superficial things. Most women, not all. So full-blown feminists rather not. But most women want to feel feminine, and a man can help a woman feel that way. In his presence, from my own experience, I can say that gentlemanly gestures are much more common among men over 40 and above than in the younger generation. And of course, I am not speaking in general terms about everyone. There are certainly gentlemen among the young as well, but there tend to be more among older men. And that may be due to upbringing, which used to be different than today. The influence of parents. Young men today are more exposed to modern influences such as feminism, which does not necessarily promote traditional male qualities. Diplomatically speaking, use your upbringing to your advantage. Show her that you appreciate her being a woman. Her femininity, for example, gently touch her back. When you cross the street, hold the door open for her. Many women find such gestures very beautiful. They are small attentions that show that the man cares about the well-being of his partner. With age, bones lose density and strength, and our stamina often decreases. Unfortunately, we sometimes tend to give in to these age-related changes instead of fighting against them in men. It often shows through a little belly, then a belly, and eventually you might be out of breath when climbing stairs, or when you have to run. Use these changes to your advantage. A younger woman, as mentioned, places more value on physical appearance and on you being fit and slim than an older woman. A man who is physically fit, who has strength and energy, appears attractive to her, because important. Even if the age difference is acceptable to her, she does not want to be constantly reminded of it. She also does not want to be reminded of her own aging. Your appearance is something you can influence, so stay active, maintain your energy, keep yourself fit, exercise, pay attention to your diet, not excessively, just in a way that you feel comfortable in your body. If you can somewhat keep up with her physical condition, not only does your relationship benefit because you can do great things together, hiking, sports, etc., but above all, you yourself benefit. Where do you meet younger women? In places where you also meet women your own age. But at a more mature age, you do not go to bars and clubs. As often you have different interests than 20 years ago. And it is not uncommon that in this phase of life, you look for a new challenge, whether mental or physical use. This desire for change. What have you always wanted to try or learn? A relative of mine now, 80 and widowed, started going to the swimming pool. Daily in summer at 60, he swims his laps, jumps from the 3-meter board doing a handstand, and the ladies line up downstairs to talk to him. Most of them are 20 years younger. Apart from that, most people are members somewhere. Whether in a tennis club or a cooking class, These environments offer a relaxed atmosphere in which it is relatively easy to make acquaintances. Dog sports can also be a way to meet women and start conversations. Partner dancing. Most women love to dance, but often lack a dance. Partner dancing knows no age limits, and on the dance floor, the ice is quickly broken. Dating apps difficult. Although a couple of friends, she 56, he 58, met on a dating site, and they have been very happy together for 2 years. So it is possible to find the right partner there. However, I would recommend not having expectations that are too high. Then you will not be disappointed. Extra tip. Stay up to date. As mentioned, with 45 and older, you may have had a long relationship or a divorce behind you. You may therefore no longer be fully familiar with contemporary customs or contemporary fashion. If that is the case, that is completely fine, but it does not hurt to inform yourself a little. How does the mature man of today dress to appear relaxed and casual when older men want to appear young? At all costs, they sometimes overdo it with clothing, and that can look ridiculous, and younger women do pay attention to clothing. I plan to make a separate video about this, since some of you have already asked me about it. My tip is to keep things simple and understated. Everyone naturally has their own style, but if you feel comfortable in your clothes, you also radiate that. For example, for going out a blazer, with a shirt sweater, or t-shirt underneath jeans. With that, you are always well and casually dressed. If the video was helpful for you, feel free to subscribe and share your thoughts. And do not forget to check out Highland Titles. Thanks for watching. See you very soon. And bye. It is a pleasure for me to introduce Highland Titles to you, because they have been committed to wildlife and plant life for many years by restoring degraded farmland to its natural state and allowing endangered species to return through the sale of souvenir plots. The company generates funds to purchase and restore even more land. It is therefore not only a special gift, it also has a meaningful background because you help preserve the wonderful landscape. Also a funny side effect, through the purchase you become a lord or lady of the glen, which in Scottish means landowner. Go to the website highlandtitles.de and use the code SAPHIRA25. Then you will receive 25% off all packages. Check it out. Have fun.